Welcome to Fusion Fix, where crafting and embroidery collide. I'm Mylene Roach, founder of Designs in Machine Embroidery, and I'm delighted to welcome you to today's virtual class. You are going to be inspired by gorgeous samples and learn some achievable techniques using tools that you're already familiar with, like an embroidery machine and possibly your digital cutter. You will learn how to incorporate heat transfer vinyl and rhinestones into beautiful works of art. Mixing media, fabric, embroidery thread, bling, and HTV adds interest and dimension to otherwise plain artwork. And if you don't know where to turn for artwork, well, we have you covered. Wait till you see what you can do with your embroidery machine and a digital cutter. Let's get started.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Aine McCarthy, and I will be your dime educator for the next 90 minutes as we jump into that area where embroidery and crafting collide. Fusion Fix. Now, we're going to get started pretty soon, but we couldn't bring you these great online events if it wasn't for our partnership with fabulous people like Reen Wilcoxon of Embroidery Garden. So, Reen, please come in and join me.
Hi, Aine. How are you today?
I'm doing great. A little hot. I'm here in Texas. We're a little hot, but we will survive. Thank you so much for helping us with this presentation and hosting us today. So Reen, what's going on with Embroidery Garden?
Well, it's getting back to school time, so I'm working on some back to school designs right now. And, just trying to enjoy what's left of summer a little bit. But things have been going great, and I'm so excited for this event.
I am too. And I know you are bringing out new designs, new in the hoop designs. It seems like every week, and they are absolutely fabulous. And wait, I've got a couple that I want to show you in this event that I think you'll be pleased with.
Great. I can't wait to see them.
That's great. So, okay, Reen, what is your favorite dime product? And knowing you, I know you've got several of them. So go ahead.
All right. Well, Dime keeps continually coming out with new great products, and kind of each new one is my most favorite. But I think that the ones that I really, really like, of course, are the magnetic hoops, the hoop and press pads. I use those almost daily. I'm really loving the Sew Any Shape foam. Been using that in a lot of my in the hoop designs. And the totally tubular pressing station is still one of my favorites.
Mine too.
And I'm really getting into this new software, and you're going to be showing that, I know, in this event, the cut and stitch.
I know that cut and stitch software is it's fun, it's easy to learn, and it's really unique.
It's addictive.
Yeah, and addictive, yes. Well, also joining us today is our lead educator, Ashley Jones, who will be monitoring the chat room. So hello, Ashley, come on in.
Hi, good to see both of you. I'm excited to be over there in the chat this time. Can't wait to see what you have to show us, Aine. And we have lots of very patient people joining from all over the U.S. already. And even Julie Ford, she's already piped in and said how wonderful Aine is, that she actually had attended your live events, Aine, before all of this virtual. So pretty cool, right?
Fabulous. Hello, everyone out there. And so, Ashley, I'm going to spill the secret. We've got special celebrities, not only Reen here, but we've got some special people in the chat room. You want to tell them who?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a group of ladies joining from Tennessee from a retreat, and that retreat is hosted by Stephanie Young of Caesar. You guys, if you don't know who she is, you're going to learn about her in today's presentation. They are watching from the retreat to see everything Aine's got to share with us. So pretty exciting. Lots of people joining today.
I know. So, and Ashley, you're going to be in the chat room, and so are the Stephanie Young. And we encourage you, comment, ask a question, and then about every 30 minutes, I'm going to stop and break and bring Ashley in, and we will answer your question, maybe even on the air.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds great. And yeah, ask your questions. You've got Stephanie from Caesar, you've got Reen from Embroidery Gardens, and of course us here from Dime. So if you have a question, today is the day to ask it. Don't you think, Aine?
Absolutely. We got celebrities in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's great. So you know what? I think it's time to get started.
Sounds great. See you in a bit.
Oh, you betcha. All righty.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Let's go to that place where embroidery and crafting collide in this Fusion Fix event. Now, what about that term fusion? I'm sure that you have heard of it, mostly in culinary circles with restaurant marketing, and we usually see it with the word fusion cuisine, where the chefs take ingredients and recipes from different cultures and blend them together, and what you get are really unique menu offerings, really different flavors. Well, we're going to take that same principle and apply it to our machine embroidery and add vinyl. We're going to take our vinyl crafting and add machine embroidery. And when we do that, we get novel looks and unique items that we couldn't get anywhere else. And look at what you can do. And I'm going to thank Reen Wilcoxon for these flowers, because look at what she did, combining glitter heat transfer vinyl with her gorgeous hand sketch florals and this beautiful text, and she created this beautiful pillow. So thank you, Reen. It is absolutely gorgeous, and it is the epitome of what we're going to talk about today. So when you take heat transfer vinyl, combine embroidery, and add rhinestones, now you really have reached that fusion fix. It's really taken it to a different level. If you always are looking for new elements, new materials, new techniques to get your creative fix, then think of what you can do when you combine heat transfer vinyl and machine embroidery. And when you add rhinestones, now you have really taken it to a different level. This event today really features a unique collaboration between Dime Designs and Machine Embroidery and Caesar North America. You met Eileen Roach at the beginning. She's our founder and owner. And now meet Stephanie Young, who is the craft coordinator at Caesar North America. Her job really illustrates what we're going to do today. She is responsible for combining all of these different media into gorgeous embroidery projects. So here's a message from Stephanie herself.
Hey everybody, Stephanie here with Caesar North America. And that's right, I said it, Caesar. That's the number one question that we get. Is it Caesar? Is it scissors? No, it's Caesar, because we're based out of Italy. So that's the first question. Next, who or what is Caesar? Caesar is the leading manufacturer of HTV vinyl and PSV. So what's HTV? That's heat transfer vinyl. Some of you may call it t-shirt vinyl or iron-on vinyl. But for us, we say heat transfer vinyl, and sometimes it looks like this right here. So this is HTV, and this is what we're going to be showing today in some of the products that we're doing. So I can't wait to show you. So here, this is, again, HTV, and when we go to use it as a fabric, simple thing that we have to do, we're just going to take off that carrier sheet. So all I'm going to do is literally take off that carrier sheet, and now this is just really a shiny fabric. So many ways that we can use it with embroidery, and I can't wait to show you everything that Dime has in store for you. Let's get started.
So here's what we're going to talk about today. We are going to see how we can add texture and dimension with heat transfer vinyl. We're going to talk about how to choose the best vinyl for your embroidery design and how to choose the embroidery design for your vinyl. We're going to see the latest creative program to convert artwork into embroidery designs, and we're going to create embroidery designs specifically for vinyl and specifically for rhinestones. And since Dime is the solutions company, we've got tips and tools that make it easy and keep it fun. Here's how this is going to work. This is a learn and shop event. You're going to watch me in the video window, and I'm going to show you slides and do some software demonstrations and show you a lot of things under the camera. And then right next door, that's where you will find Ashley and Stephanie. Leave a comment. Tell us where you're viewing from. Ask questions. And as I said, we're going to stop every once in a while and answer those questions. And since this learn and shop event, you know what that means? It means that you can purchase selected products at special prices. That means they're on sale today. Yay! And you can rewatch and shop, not for the next 48 hours as it says there, but clear through the weekend. That's one of the cool things about having a Thursday event is because we just leave that rewatch option and that shopping pane open until Sunday night. So you can shop as many times as you wish. Here's what you're going to see underneath the video window. There are little pictures of all of the products that we have selected to be on sale. And then underneath each is a green view product bar. Click that and you're going to get more information about the product. And then that's where you add it to your shopping cart. As you build your shopping cart, it'll appear off to the side. When you're ready to check out, just click checkout and that will bring you to this window. We got a couple of payment options for you, so pick the one that best fits your needs. But look at the window show order summary. Make sure you click that because that will then give you a summary of your shopping cart. And at the very bottom is a window with the words gift card or discount code. You know that Dime has lots of ways for you to save. And here's new ways for 2023. We've got 2 discount codes. The first one, if your pre-tax purchases hit $150 or more, then write in the word flagship, all one word, just like that. And that will get you free shipping on all of your purchases to anywhere in the United States. But if your purchases total $250 or more, add the code FLAG10. No spaces, just like you see there. You'll get free shipping when you write in flagship, and flag 10 added on gets you an additional 10% discount on all your purchases. So remember, flagship when you get to 150, both of them when you get to 250 or more. And we've got lots of ways for you to save. We've got lots of bundles in this event today. And anytime we bundle, that's when you're going to save. Now, I'll be talking about all of these, but just know that we've got lots of ways for you to save. And we have a little present for you to kind of thank you of your support of Dime and great partners like Embroidery Garden. We're going to give you this design for a double dip ice cream cone, perfect for the summer days. It's an applique. It's perfect to use with heat transfer vinyl. All stitch formats will be available. You'll get an email after you purchase and you'll get cut files and PDFs and all of the stitch files. So go all the way to the end of the product list, add that to your cart at no charge. But let's jump in and get started. If you are new to using vinyl with your embroidery, what vinyl am I really going to talk about? Well, I'll tell you what vinyl I'm not going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about LPs or vinyl flooring or vinyl windows or PVC pipe, and I'm not going to talk about marine vinyl, faux leather, or expanded vinyl. What I am going to talk about is craft vinyl. And know that there are 2 basic types. There is adhesive backed vinyl. You may know as pressure sensitive vinyl. Stephanie referred to that in the video. This is thin, it's flexible, and it acts like a sticker. You know, you peel off the protective paper and then you press it on the item. It's not going to work on fabric and it's not going to work on porous surfaces. The other type of craft vinyl is heat transfer vinyl. It's also thin, very flexible, but the adhesive on this vinyl is activated by heat. And it comes with a carrier sheet to keep your design intact if it's got multiple elements. And it also acts as a pressing sheet. It works great on fabric as long as your fabric is heat tolerant, heat being the operative word. And this is the vinyl that we're going to focus on today. So let's take a look at how it's used with the machine embroidery. And for an example, I'm going to show you pictures of using a glitter heat transfer vinyl with a simple applique design. So the first thing that you're going to do is remove the carrier sheet. We won't need it and you can just peel it off. Then, just like in traditional applique, you're going to stitch the placement stitch, and then you're going to put your piece of glitter vinyl right on top of that placement stitch. Then you're going to do your tack down stitch and your finishing stitch. And what is really nice is that glitter heat transfer vinyl is going to lift from the edge of that steel stitch. It just tears cleanly off. That is a big wow. Word of caution though, As easily as it tears from the outside, it's also going to tear from the inside. So you want to make sure that when you are finished, you do iron and adhere that applique element to your project. And when you get done, it is absolutely gorgeous. Now, some of you have already used heat transfer vinyl, and this is the way that you're familiar with using it. You cut it on your digital cutter using a half cut. You're going to do a mirror image, and then you keep that carrier sheet on so that it maintains the orientation so that when you transfer it to a t-shirt, fabric, whatever you're doing, then it just fuses right to the garment. So what does the fusion part look like? I'm going to show you right under the camera, just basically what this looks like. So here's the free design, and here's your ice cream cone, and it makes me hungry just looking at it. And this is using heat transfer vinyl. No embroidery, just heat transfer vinyl. I cut it out on the cutter using a half cut. I put it on there. You can layer it, and I iron it on. But what about fusion? Look at this. Now I have used that glitter heat transfer vinyl as an applique fabric. So you can see I've got a steel stitch that finishes off each piece, and it holds that glitter vinyl and that strip block vinyl in place. But let's add rhinestones to that, and let's really bling it up. Again, we got glitter heat transfer vinyl. I've got metallic thread in the applique, machine embroidered applique, and I've put a field of rhinestones around this design that I put on this tote bag. That's fusion of many different medium there. Now, how do we do this? We're going to do this with the newest member of the Dime software family, and that is Cut and Stitch software. This is a brand new program that allows you to enjoy that fusion of embroidery with fabric, heat transfer vinyl, and rhinestones. It enables you to create files for your digital cutters. It has very powerful artwork editing features, and it allows you to convert an artwork to a cut file for your digital cutter, an embroidery file, or a rhinestone design, or even all three. All software programs from Dime, Cut and Stitch included, are compatible with all major stitch formats. So it doesn't matter what embroidery machine you're using, the stitch format is available. All Dime software has a free update, and we just had one absolutely free to everyone that owns the software. And all Dime software is Mac and Windows compatible. So let's see that new software, shall we? I'm going to go to the software here. And if you're familiar with Dime software, you are familiar with how it is an icon-driven software, as many softwares are. But you see icons all across the top and down the side, and clicking on these icons is what drives the features and expresses the functionality in the software. You don't have to memorize them. There's a lot of them. You don't have to memorize them. All I'm doing is hovering my mouse over the icon, and a little pop-up window tells me what that icon is for. And if I want more information, all I have to do is do a F2 or a function F2 on my keyboard, and a little video is going to pop up that will show me more information on how to use that icon. But let's start with a design. I'm going to show you some of the functions of Cut and Stitch software. And I'm going to show you how easy and how fun it is to use, and it is addicting. So the first thing that you want to see is the artwork library. And look at all of these categories. As I click through them, there are hundreds and hundreds of artwork images in here that you can convert to embroidery. You can use these with vinyl. You can even convert some of them to a rhinestone pattern. And we even help you get started by giving you some embroidery designs that are already digitized with embroidery, or some rhinestone designs that get you ready to go. But the fun really is creating and customizing your own. So let's do that. And I'm going to start with this little paw print right here from the animals category. And I'm going to put that on my workspace. I'm going to put some text around that because as Everybody does. I love animals. And so I'm going to do a little text saying. Now, let me say something about the text. Cut and Stitch doesn't have any fonts built in, but what it does, it creates letters from true type fonts. So any font or true type text that you have on your word processor, Microsoft Word in my case, are going to show up here. Now, my list might look different from your list. So whatever fonts you have in your word processing function are going to show up here. So you can convert those to artwork then. And what I'm going to do is that exactly. I'm going to stack these letters L and VE. And I picked a Cooper Black, which is a really strong text. I'm going to align those off to the side there, and then also space these letters out just a little bit so that I've got some room to work. And you'll see why in just a second. And I'm going to then size this to be 5 inches wide. And it's that easy to create a text and a design like this. And you can see what I'm going to do, right? Just like that, I'm going to use this design, which helps us express our love for our pets. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of different ways that you can convert these to different media. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the repeat tool to make a couple of different copies. Now, I could do copy paste, but that wouldn't give me a chance to show you this really cool repeat tool. And I can also space them out. And I'm going to use those three in my demonstration. So let's focus in on the first one, this one right here. And let's say that you're just going to do this pattern in heat transfer vinyl. Okay, no embroidery yet, no rhinestones yet. You're just going to do this in heat transfer vinyl. What I'm going to do right here is I'm going to mirror image it because I know that I am going to do that in at the cutter, but I'm going to do it here so I don't forget. Then I am going to go to my cutter function. And this is how I move this and create the cut file. So there's one mat full, if you would, in blue. And then there's the other mat full for the paw print. You can do it in one color if you want, just like that. But I'm going to keep it in the different colors. And then I am going to, there's my media, and I've picked my 12 by 12 mat because I'm going to use it on my scan and cut. So I'm going to save it as an FCM, which is the fabric cutting machine for my scan and cut. But if you've got another cutter, you can save it as an SVG, I think for the silhouettes or the crickets, or an AI file to go to Adobe Illustrator. So you can save it as any of these vector file formats. How easy is that? That is so easy. All right, so now let's go mosey on over to this one. Now on this one, here's where the fusion part comes in. I'm going to select all these, and with one click, I'm going to change it to an applique, a machine embroidered applique. And just like that, you see it, and it has a placement stitch, a tack down stitch, and also then the finishing stitch. And I'm just going to move that just a little bit up off of there. So now I can use it with, let's say I want to do it with heat transfer vinyl. In Cut and Stitch, we have all of the images of the Caesar heat transfer vinyls. So let's say that I want to do it in a glitter vinyl in this pretty red color. And look at that. You can see what it looks like. You can audition it just there. You can use other fabric choices, but you can certainly audition it even in maybe another type of Caesar vinyl. For example, the Aurora, which is so cool because it's got this really cool shimmer look. And you can audition this and see how you like it even before taking it to the machine. But let's do more fusion. Let's go to this graphic. And now I'm going to select it. And with one click, now I can make it into a rhinestone outline. It keeps the different colors, and I've got the rhinestone. So, and I want to show you now, this is what it's in 3D. If I turn off the 3D, what you see is a series of holes. And that's what you are going to take to your cutter, because your cutter is going to, these aren't stitches, it's not going to stitch little holes, but your cutter is going to cut little holes in a special material called rhinestone flock. It makes a template that you're going to put the rhinestones in and then transfer them to your item and iron them on. Stay tuned. I'm going to talk lots more about that when we get to the rhinestone sections, but just so that you see how easy it is to convert a design like that to rhinestones. Okay? So, but look at this. I'm going to show you something else. Look how cool this is. So I'm going to go to the artwork library, and in holidays and parties, in the Easter, there's this adorable little bunny face. So let me put that on, and I'm going to cut that out of heat transfer vinyl, but I want to stitch a face on it. So I want to do embroidery stitches that'll put a face on it. So I'm going to go back to the artwork, and in Christmas, this little Santa face right here has some elements that I can use. Well, I don't want the beard, so I'm just going to delete that. And I'm going to take the nose. Wait a minute, I'm going to shape this bunny. This bunny needs to be about, I think, 4 inches high. That's how big I want to make him. So here's his nose, but I want to reshape it, and Cut and Stitch has a shaping tool so that you can reshape the artwork just like that. All right, so there's the smile. Oops, I just want to select him. There's the smile. I'll put that on the bunny. There's his nose. I'll put that on the bunny. And I want to use these eyelashes, but I don't want them that direction. I want them upside down. So look how easy it is to change those and put those right on the bunny face. And these you can send through and make them into stitches with the auto vectorizing wizard. So I've got heat transfer vinyl as the bunny face, and I've got the stitches for the face itself, the eyelashes and the nose. And I'm going to show you what this looks like next time we go to the camera. Isn't that cool? This is another cool way to, I'm looking for, this is another cool way to use artwork. And this is a hot air balloon that I just got on clip art. You know, we do that all the time. And if I select it all and I use the auto vectorizing wizard, it's going to digitize those artworks into a fill stitch. Well, I don't want to do this as a fill stitch. What I really want to do is to convert it back to artwork so that I can turn it into rhinestones. Yes. And for some reason, that computer just insists on making these marquee looking rhinestones, but it's so easy to change those just with one click, just like that. And you can change this one, and then you can cut those out. And that's how easy it is to, I mean, look at that. You've taken a clip art and you converted it to a great rhinestone design. Now, those of you that have done work with vinyl, I'm going to show you some of the shaping and editing tools that are so easy to do in Cut and Stitch just with one click. So for example, I'm going to zero in on this one. And so this is just piece, and that is done in a font that I have on my computer. But watch what happens when I'm going to place this right over the dove, right there, and I select both of those, and I use the exclude tool, which is on these icons right up at the top. So look at that. Isn't that cool? You know, if you're doing, you know, spiritual banners or work for the church, you know, something like this, it doesn't have to be done in embroidery stitches. It can be done in gorgeous shimmering vinyl. Let me go over to this one. Look at the apple. That's in artwork. These are all from the artwork library. And I just drew a heart in the artwork. So I'm going to put that right on top of the apple. And then my teacher's font is in another font that I have, and I'll put that right on top of the apple. I'm going to select all of them. And then I'm going to go to the subtract icon. which is right here. And now I've got something pretty cool. If I cut this in pressure sensitive vinyl, I can put this on a coffee cup or a mug or even a plaque. Or I can do this out of heat transfer vinyl and use it on a mug rug. Now look at this one. This one is, I live in Texas here, and it's a very common icon that we see in Texas. So I've got the outline of the state, and we have all 50 states in cut and stitch. And I've got the colors of the Texas flag, and I'm just going to drop that right on top of those colors, select them all, and then use the crop function. And now I've put those colors, and I know you've probably seen that icon for Texas. And do this for your state. It will look really cool. A lot of times in working with vinyl, we use a knockout feature, and you can certainly do that too. So I've got the best dad ever, a great present for Father's Day. I know it just went past us, but I've got this star here, and that's not out of the artwork. I'm going to show you where I got that. That is in our morph tool, which is new to cut and stitch, that has a number of shapes just like that. And these sliders here allow you to alter the shape. For example, in the stars, we're going to put more points on it, or you can make the arms thicker, or you can deform the arms so that it has like that, a little bit of that buzz cutter, or you can make them more rounded. So on the star that I did, I just went back to the 5-point star. I made him just a little bit thicker, and I didn't want him deformed, and I made him quite round. And that's how I got that star there. Then when I put that star right on top of the best dad ever text, then I can do a knockout I can do a knockout value on that, a knockout editing on that. I can offset it, or I can leave it as is. If I leave it as is, then it's just going to cut it very close. But let's say that I offset it, and you can look at the difference. So let's say that I offset it just maybe 1/10 of an inch, and you can see then the space that it makes in there. That's great if you want to convert this to an applique or do something like that. So you can see how robust the features in this new software is, and absolutely love it. You can play with this for a long time. I'll be going back to the software and show you how we work with Rhinestone, but I want to let you know how you're going to get this software today. You're going to get this in the digital software bundle. You get the cut and stitch software. You get embroidery software success tutorials written by Eileen Roach that help you learn this software just one little skill set at a time. And pretty soon you'll be creating things and doing this all day. And you get a one-on-one Zoom call with one of our educators to help you get through your projects, answer the questions that you want to do, and help you get started. Now, this is almost $375 in value. Today for the event, it's $266, just at $267, but it's going to hit that $250 price break. You're getting a 10% discount, so it's going to come out right at $240. Now, here's a couple of ways to learn software. You can find us on YouTube. Find the Designs in Machine Embroidery channel, and you can look at all of the educational videos we have for all of our softwares. Join the group. We've got a Facebook group called Dime Inspiration Software Users. There's over 4,000 members now, and these are monitored by national experts. Pose your question. Post a picture of what you're doing. We're happy to help you. And catch the new series, Software Success, by our lead educator, Ashley Jones. She does these on the first and third Tuesday of the month at 1 p.m. Central Time. You can watch this on Facebook or YouTube. She does a complete hour on lessons on all of Dime software. And you can grab these success tutorials for any of our softwares. These are PDFs written by Eileen Roach. You print them out and you just learn as you go through individual skills. Or you can schedule a lesson, 30 minutes for $30 with one of our very experienced and knowledgeable teachers. Pick the day and time that's convenient for you and get the questions that you want to get answered. So it's time, I think, to take a break and let's bring Ashley in to see what questions we have. Hey, Ashley, how is it going over there?
It's going great. I think they're loving your presentation. We've got lots of questions popping up when you started showing things in the software. So I know for a fact that they are watching and loving it. So we did have a question that's very similar from two different Kathys. So I thought that you could definitely address that. So Kathy S asked, is it a separate program than PEP or is it an add-on? And then Kathy Keller said, is Cut and Stitch standalone program or does it need Perfect Embroidery Pro to work? So since those are similar, I thought you could kind of explain the details there.
Exactly. Okay, two Kathys. Here you go, the two Kathys. Kathy. Cut and Stitch software is a standalone program, and you can run it all by itself. So it's not an upgrade to one of our existing programs. It is a standalone software program. But she brings up PEP, which is Perfect Embroidery Professional, which is our top of the line editing, digitizing, creating software. Wouldn't those work well together? And they will under Embroidery Toolshed, which houses all of our softwares. So they will work hand in hand with each other. But to answer the question, no, you don't. It is a standalone software.
Which also, Ain, you kind of started alluding to this because Jan also asked, can you bring in designs from PEP or Word Art and Stitches? And she didn't specifically say, but we can go on to say any dime program. So do you want to explain how a little bit about how those work together?
Exactly. So all of our software is housed under a large platform, and we call it Embroidery Toolshed. So think of those software programs as being the tools in your toolshed. You have access to them at any one given time. So you can simply just jump over and get one of the artworks or one of the designs from Perfect Embroidery Pro. You can use features in Word Art and Stitches, and then you can convert it to the rhinestone in Cut and Stitch software.
Perfect. I think that's a great explanation. And it's one of the things that makes, I think, our embroidery tool shed so powerful is the fact the more dime products you own, it merges them all together. So
Yes.
a great explanation.
And they're all open at the same time. You don't have to toggle over to a new window or close or open a new program. They're all at your fingertips.
Yeah, I love that. So the other questions that we have, I told them to hold tight. So Penny was asking about being the machine washable, if the HTV was machine washable. I know that you're going to cover that and talk about that. And then Beverly York is excited to see how you do your rhinestone designs. And I know that's coming up. So I'll just leave that there in your lap to take it on to the next section. And then I'll see you back here in a bit.
Okay, that's great. And there we go. What a great segue. So thank you to the viewers. So let's talk rhinestones. Just rhinestones 101, because there's no easier way to add glimmer and bling and blitz than adding these little bitty pieces of crystal that absolutely shimmer and shine. There's a wide range of shapes, colors, and sizes. They can be made of crystal or glass or acrylic plastic. They can be ironed on, which we call hot fix. They can be glued on, or they can in fact be sewn on. What our focus today is going to be on flat back, hot fix crystal or glass rhinestones. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about. Right, these rhinestones come in a wide range of sizes, and we describe the sizes as SS, which stands for stone size. These correlate to a generally accepted millimeter range, but because rhinestones are made by so many different manufacturers in lots, there is a little bit of variation between the sizes. But for example, an SS30 is about 1/4 of an inch. So there's a good graphic that shows you all the different sizes. Now, how to attach the hot fix rhinestones? Well, the one way is you can do them one stone at a time with a hot fix tool, and there's lots of them out on the market. It's tedious. The rhinestones are going to be on one at a time. They will land for the most part where you want them to, but oh my gosh, is it time consuming. If you're going to add an entire field of rhinestones, you want to attach them all at once, and you want to create a design or a pattern. And to attach them, you can use a household iron or a heat press. And that's what we're going to talk about, how to make a field of rhinestones. And for example, I'm going to show you how we did this rhinestone-filled heart. So the first thing that you want to do is you've got to have a rhinestone design. Now you can either buy one, or why not create one? You saw how easy it was to create one in our cut and stitch software. And this design that you create is going to be a cut file for your digital cutters. And it's going to be for your scan and cut, your Cricut or your Silhouette machines. And there are holes in the design like you saw. And the stones sit in the holes. So there's no stitches. This is a cut file. So you're going to transfer that cut file from your computer to your cutter, whether you do it by USB stick or by Wi-Fi, whatever's compatible, it doesn't really matter. Then at the digital cutter, you're going to get a material that will cut the template, and we usually call it a rhinestone flock. It's kind of velvety, it's kind of fuzzy, and it has an adhesive backing. It comes in several colors. The holes are cut in this fabric, in this material, so that when the holes are finished being cut, you lift the template from the cutter mat. You don't need the dots, you need the holes, the template. And then you're going to put that in a shallow pan or a shallow box top or something like that. Then you're going to pour a bunch of rhinestones right on top of that template. Be generous. Then you're going to take a special rhinestone brush and you're just going to brush them around and back and forth. And like magic, those little rhinestones land butter side up, land shiny side up, and you're going to do it until you get the whole thing filled. Then you're going to get a special plastic adhesive tape called transfer tape or transfer sheet, a couple of different names, and you're going to place that right on top of those shiny little rhinestones. Press on it so that they all stick, and then that transfer sheet lifts up those rhinestones, and that's what you use then to take it to your t-shirt or your fabric or whatever you're working on, and then that's what you will iron them on. You will heat them up, whether an iron or a heat press, so then that melts the adhesive on the back of the rhinestone and they are stuck there. Now, how long and what temperature? It really is going to depend on the manufacturer recommendations, the manufacturer of the rhinestones we have, and we've got the instructions all in there. So let's look at some, okay? Let's look at some rhinestones right under the camera here. So take a look at this one. I'm going to get there we go. Okay, so this little table accent that I did is really the fusion. So I've got heat transfer glitter vinyl, I've got metallic thread, and I've got rhinestones. And you can see how many different colors they have. You can use it to match anything that you're working with. And here is, I used glitter vinyl for the name here on this Christmas stocking, but I want to show you on this little train here, those rhinestones I had to glue on with a hot fix applicator one at a time. Just doing the rhinestones, just these little ones, probably took an hour. So I don't want to do it like that anymore. So a field like this on this patch, you know, isn't it great? You can put all these rhinestones on all at once. And I'm going to show you how to make this field around this design and inside this patch. This is one of the free designs from our prism play that I'll be talking about. You can take an applique design like this and convert it to a field of rhinestones. And this is our Stitch Swag notebook covers. And this is how it's going to work. So this is the flock, and it's this pink fuzzy. And see the holes that are cut in around the cream cone? Then see, like on this one. So you take your bag of rhinestones and you're going to pour them on there. And then you're going to take this brush and you're just going to brush around like this. And they land in there shiny side up. So here they are on a transfer sheet. You can just see right there. I'm going to take this off then, hopefully not lose any. But then I'm just going to put it on, you know, whatever fabric that I'm going to glue it on, and then I'm going to iron it. But here's another pretty cool thing about working with these rhinestone patterns. You don't have to use them for just rhinestones. Look at this. So this is cut out of Aurora heat transfer vinyl, and this is cut out of glitter vinyl. And look at what you can do. You can kind of make faux rhinestones. So these are rhinestones that are around the anchor, but here's the faux rhinestone. So this is the glitter vinyl. These aren't rhinestones. This is flat, and it's perfect for maybe a kid's t-shirt. You don't want to have a whole field of rhinestones here, but look at this little dinosaur, and this is how he was cut out. So this is out of Aurora HTV, and you see that shimmer and shine, and that's another great way to create designs that would be used for rhinestones, but you made them for HTV. So let's go to the software, and I'm going to show you how to do some rhinestone designs. So let me go to a new page here, and I'm just going to do something very simple, and I'm going to go to the artwork, and I'm going to draw a heart just like that. And I'm just going to make this heart maybe 5 inches wide, 5 inches high. Okay? All right. Very simply with one click, then you can make an outline of rhinestones. There's the holes that will be cut in your template, and then that's what the rhinestones look like. It's that easy. You see the bead count up here. The beads are the number of rhinestones. And if you would like to change the rhinestones to a different size, you can, to a very tiny size, and it's automatically changed. Or I'm going to change it to a common rhinestone color and size, which is the 10SS. And the bead size changes every time that you do, and the bead count changes every time that you do that. Okay, if I want to fill this heart with rhinestones, I can do that. And I can even see the pattern that the heart is filled with. I can change that to a flat pattern, all organized. I can change it to a ring pattern. I can even change it to a texture. So something that makes a pattern. And I've got a couple of different patterns on there. So you can do something like that. If you want to do something like that on a ribbon, it absolutely is gorgeous. But here's what else I can do. So I'm just going to go back to the outline, and I can make additional rings. So I can put 3 rings that are kind of in that contour. And I can even make one of them a different color. And you notice that it came in a little bit smaller size. Well, I can go in and change that size just like I did all the others. I can change it to a bigger size, but then you can, if you've got different size rhinestones, you can do that. Now, this is how you get this file to your cutter. You're going to do an export bling because it's an artwork file that's going to go to your cutter, so you have to export it. And this is the function where you would then select whether you want an FCM file or an SVG file or any of the other vector formats that you see here. And you can change it to and see what they look like in the cutter for this one color and then the other color. You can put a bounding box around that if you want or not. So you can do a whole lot of items in your export bling function that will help you when you get to the cutter. It gives you the bead count so that you can know whether or not you're going to have enough rhinestones for that. So it is so easy to create these in the cut and stitch software. But here's more Fusion. I'm going to show you this design, which is one of the free designs in the Prism Plate Kit. And I want to put rhinestones around this design. So all I have to do is create an outline, and I can preview this, and I'm going to make it just a little bit closer to the little oyster and put that on my workspace. And then I can change that to a rhinestone outline. And I can put extra rings around it. And I can change the style. So I can make stripes out of those extra rings, or I can do kind of a fade out, or I'm going to change the color of this rhinestone so that we can see it a little bit better. How about that? There we go. A little bit too big. And see, you can change this however you want. Or I can do kind of a scatter pattern around those. Isn't that cool? So that's how you can do around those. That's how I did around the ice cream design and all that. But look at this. Remember that patch that I showed you? I can put rhinestones and create a field that exactly match that patch and around that shell. So just like I did before, I'm going to create an outline and I'm going to bring it in pretty tight to that little design, just like that. And now I'm going to, did I do it? Let me see this. We'll do a create an outline and I'll put it around there. I don't think there we go. And I'll put okay. All right, so there's my outline. Now I'm going to do an outline on the patch. And I can go to the outline tool because I can do a outline on the inside of that patch that exactly matches that. And I can take that in just a little bit to clear those stitches, and I can put that on my workspace. I can combine those, and then I can fill that field with rhinestones. And now I've got a rhinestone pattern that I'm going to cut on the flock and then take that and put that on my patch. And you can create a whole lot of really cool things with this software. So here's the benefit of creating those rhinestone designs in your software. If you purchase designs, you can't resize them because it'll change the size of the holes and they won't fit your rhinestones. The bead size can't be altered in those purchased designs. So if you've got rhinestones of different sizes, you're limited to what that design is in. In cut and stitch designs that you create, if you retain the native format file, you can go back in and resize the entire design without any issues. You can change the bead style, the bead type, the bead color, and you can get it just the way that you want it. And as I said, you can use that rhinestone flock to cut out heat transfer vinyl, just like that. You're going to use the dots and you're going to transfer those to your art item, not the rhinestones. And I did one this is great, as I said, for kids items because you don't have the rhinestones danger of falling off, being swallowed, and they're also a little bit flat against the surface of the shirt. And here's what you need to get started. You need the cut stitch software, you need the rhinestones and the application tools, some heat transfer vinyl, and you need a tote bag. And we put all of those in our getting started software bundle. We named it perfect as to what it is. It's everything that you need to get started to make some designs that include rhinestones and heat transfer vinyl. And we even give you a tote bag to practice it on. So it's usually $475, but it is $340, but it hits that $250 price break. So you're going to get it at a 10% discount, totals to less than $310. Really? That is like the deal of the day. That's more like the steal of the day, actually, to get all of that for that price. So I think everybody needs to put that in their cart right now. If you want a rhinestone starter kit that has 10 gross, it has 1,440 little AB rhinestones, Aurora Borealis rhinestones. It has the flock, the brush, and the transfer tape. We also have a rhinestone starter kit. But now let's talk about Caesar vinyl. So welcome to the world of Caesar vinyl. And this is where vinyl and thread collide. So this is one fusion universe. Let me first talk about the glitter heat transfer vinyl that you saw in a lot of the samples there. This is a vinyl sheet that has glitter color on it. It's got a heat activated adhesive and it comes with a clear carrier sheet. It doesn't flake and it doesn't shed glitter, which is cool. It's safe for kids' clothing. You can put it on cotton poly blends, even leather. And how we use it with embroidery designs, we use it as an applique. We take off the carrier sheet and we then use it as a fabric like in our applique. The vinyl tears away. You don't have to trim it, and you can pre-cut it if you would like to on your cutter. You can also fuse a large piece of glitter heat transfer vinyl to a fabric, lightweight fabric, lightly woven fabric, like maybe a muslin, and use it just as you would a piece of fabric. And we love it when we match our Kingstar metallic to it. And Kingstar metallic thread, it's amazing. It doesn't kink, it does not break, and it runs smoothly through our embroidery machines. It stands up to high-speed stitching. No metallic needle necessary. You don't have to wind it around the doorknob and down the hall. And you can use it at whatever speed that you want. It's the thread that the Japanese kimono industry uses for those beautiful garments. And look at what we did. We combined heat transfer vinyl, the glitter, with our metallic thread. And there's a t-shirt that Ashley herself did there. And the one with the joy, she did this one. This is all heat transfer vinyl combined with Kingstar metallic thread. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And we put those two items together in our Shimmer and Shine vinyl applique kits. Two hot products, the glitter vinyl, the Kingstar metallic thread. We matched it exactly to the vinyl, and we've got 4 different colorways, 4 different choices, and they all include a free design, which were made specifically for those designs. We even have our Kingstar metallic thread arranged in little quartets for you to purchase. We've got a spring, summer, fall, and holiday. And I'll give you a word to the wise. The fall and the holiday are hot, and they are in short supply come the fall. So I would get them now while the getting's good. So here's a video that I want to show you that will show you exactly how glitter heat transfer vinyl is used in applique. So the machine, as you see, is stitching the placement stitch, and we're going to do a little Christmas tree. And then once that is done, we're going to peel the carrier sheet off of the heat transfer vinyl, place that just as you would your applique fabric right over the placement stitch, tack that down, and then it is going to stitch the finishing stitch. And in this case, we're going to do a steel stitch, which is that satin stitch. And we're going to speed up the video a little bit so that it goes fast. And it looks like we're having an earthquake, but we're not. It's just in fast motion. And you can see the Christmas tree shape coming along. And then when it is done, watch how easy it is to lift that glitter vinyl away from the stitches. And what you have left is absolutely gorgeous. It's that easy. And it tears so easily away. Now, don't forget, it's going to tear from the inside also. So you have to iron this down. So that's how gorgeous it is. And it looks great with this placemat with this beautiful china. Let's talk about the second type of heat transfer vinyl from Caesar, and that is strip flock. And this is a really unique vinyl. It has a raised suede-like texture. It's fuzzy, and the colors are rich. They're opaque. And this is the only strip flock in the industry that can be layered upon itself. Using it with embroidery, we're going to pull off the plastic carrier sheet, use it just like fabric, and it also tears easily after we put down that steel stitch. It's great when paired with our vintage embroidery thread, which has a matte finish. It's also great on kids' clothing because it's very soft and textural. It blends well with embroidery and has these rich opaque colors. The sunflower on the back of that jacket is glitter heat transfer vinyl, and in the center is strip flock. And Reen Wilcoxon, thank you very much, from Embroidery Garden, used strip flock in her hand sketched florals on her in the hoop zippered bag, and they look gorgeous. And since strip flock can be layered on itself, look at this effect that she achieved, layering white and pink and black strip flock. It kind of has that, leather sweater, athletic, look. And it's great with this, using the strip flock. We think it's a perfect fusion of heat transfer vinyl and thread. It looks great with our vintage matte finish 40 weight thread. And we combine that into kits, and they're called Retro Plush. We've got 3 different colorways, jelly bean, beach towels, and newsprint, and each of those kits come with a free design so that you can get right off the bat sewing with these designs and see how great they look. Now, the last HTV that we're going to talk about from Caesar is Aurora, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It's so unique. It's got this shimmering type of effect that it changes colors when viewed from different angles. It's very attractive. It's fun to work with. It also can be layered, and it's cool for children's clothing. That dinosaur that I did on that t-shirt is from Aurora. In using it as an applique, you're going to have to trim in place after you do your tack down stitch. Unfortunately, this does not tear as easily as the strip flock and the glitter. Or make it simple, use a pre-cut shape in your cutter. You're going to be using that anyway. And we thought it would look so great with our exquisite medley variegated thread. And we put together Prism Play vinyl applique kits that have Aurora, plus a color play thread kit, 5 spools of thread, plus a free design. And we have 4 different Prism Play vinyl applique kits, each with the 5 thread set of color play. So we've got the white that has that oyster pearl design that I showed you. We've got a light green, that chameleon, that hibiscus for the pink, and those great sunglasses for the blue. If you need a certain color of heat transfer vinyl, or you just want it all, then head for the packs. We've got Shimmer and Shine, Retro Plush, Prism Play with multiple sheets of the same color. So look for those in the shopping pane under there. And if you just want all the colors, then go for the rainbow packs. Click for rainbow packs and you can choose from the glitter, the strip flock, or the Aurora, and you'll get one each of all the colors if you can't decide. So let's go to the camera now and look at some of these great heat transfer vinyls, and I'll show you some of the samples that we worked with them. So let's do the glitter first. So here we go. So here's the glitter heat transfer vinyl, and it's just as gorgeous as you see here. This one has the transfer sheet still on it, or the carrier sheet, and so it's so easy to just remove, just like that. And look how cool it looks with our King Star metallic thread. There's the green, come back here, and the gold there, and the red. It matches perfectly. So there you go, ready for Christmas, but look at what you can do with it. So look how cool it looks with the applique, with the matching King Star, and even you can just cut dots of it, just like here, and put that in your design. And even the waves here, that's just traditional heat transfer vinyl cut and put on this block. And here's a design that I'll be showing you. This is from Joanne Banco. I had this ready for the 4th of July, the patriarch holidays. Heat transfer glitter vinyl here, and even used it in the stars. So this is ready for maybe a pillow cover or a table runner, not sure, but see how perfectly it matches with our metallic thread. And take a look at this. So this is a sheet of heat transfer vinyl fused to just a lightly woven muslin. And now I can use this just as I would a fabric piece and do this with it. So here is Irene Wilcoxon in the Hoop Project. This is one of her scissors cases, fully lined. And I used heat transfer vinyl fused to that fabric instead of regular quilting cotton or regular fabric. And it looks awesome. It just looks great in that pattern. I also used it in this snap clutch. This is one of our Stitch Swag designs, our In the Hoop projects. And it's got this beautiful embroidery in King Star metallic on the front and plain on the back. And this is one of the projects that you can do, again, just using heat transfer vinyl as a fabric. And I got to tell you this story. My sister has a truck, a full-size GMC pickup, and she wrapped it in pink vinyl. So there's yet another use for vinyl. And there it is. You don't believe me? There it is. There's a picture of it. And so I made this little card towel for her. She named her truck Kiki. And so I used heat transfer vinyl and Mylar in some of these with decorative fills, and even put a little pink flamingo on the back of the truck. And look at this, what you can do for garments. Look at this gorgeous neckline. This is one of the boutique necklines just brought out by Eileen Roach that combines, here's the rhinestones, here's glitter, heat transfer vinyl, and metallic thread. So this is all three of those. Perfect. That's the epitome of doing a fusion. Now let's look at the strip flock. So this is the strip flock vinyl. And this is just what it looks like. You can see these. This has the carrier sheet on it. I removed it on these. You can see the rich opaque colors. And I know you can't feel it, but you can kind of get an appreciation of that might be just a little velveteen type of feel there. And you can use it just as you would any other vinyl. I cut this little bunny face off, with the half cut. And then I used it for kids' clothes. And so there's that bunny face that I showed you how to do in the software. Nice soft strip flock with this, with these embroidery stitches. And I've got a note to myself, these are just little rompers for a little boy. And I put even one on the back, another little artwork with a little fuzzy pom-pom. So he looks good coming and going. And these strip flocks have such a rich color that I used them in this Bridge Club stipple, also from Dime, and it doesn't ravel. So I could use it in this raw edge applique that is featured in the stipple, and I even used it for this particular coaster. And I thought it would work great as a coaster because of that fuzzy feel to it. And you can see how good it looks with our vintage thread. This isn't shiny, it's got that matte finish, so that it would go great on this strip flock. So now let's look at Aurora. So let's take a look at the Aurora. And this is the Aurora. Let me get this just a little out of the way. So you can see how shimmery and shiny that is and how it changes colors. There's a blue. This orange is awesome. And look at the pink. Look at the different colors that you get. But by far, look at this white. You get pinks and blues in the light there. But look at this gorgeous parakeet. And this is why we think it goes so well with our color play set. So our variegated threads and all of the dye patterns that match are perfect with this Aurora. And I use the Aurora on this Stitch Swag notebook cover. I used it as the cover here, and I also used heat transfer glitter vinyl on the little holly berries and the leaves. And here's a cute little sunglasses case. I put on a little tote bag, and you can see the Aurora. And this design is free in the Prism Play kits. I also went a little creative and using the Aurora in this Sea Life, this stipple Sea Life. So this is raw edge applique. And since Aurora vinyl doesn't ravel, this is perfect to use for raw edge applique. So not only in the turtle, the seahorse, but look at the little jellyfish and the sand dollar. And even I went crazy and used the glitter HTV as the sashing. So I think then we'll go back to the slides now. And this is a time I'm going to take a break. I'm going to bring Ashley in to see what's happening there in the chat.
Hey, Ain. So everything's going good over here. Lots of more questions, which is really cool. I think that means they're loving your presentation. So really cool samples. Me personally, I think my favorite was the baby romper coming or going. Looking cute, coming or going. I love that. That's pretty cute. But so I do have a few questions. So Mary Larson, she's actually a frequent flyer over on our user group. So
yes, hi Mary.
Yeah, I know she's familiar with our stuff, but she asked about when you were working with the rhinestone design. So she said, does the creation, talking about the rhinestone design, I think, need to be saved and then reopened in whatever cutter software that connects to your cutter?
Okay, I'm thinking if I understand the question properly, yes. When you are in the software, you are going to export it because it's basically artwork. You're going to export it and it will export as that artwork file. Is that right? It's going to be the export bling function command, and then it will export that in a file format that's compatible with your digital cutter.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. And then, yeah, I have one cutter that connects via software. So then I open that in my software, and I have one cutter, actually two cutters that I can use a USB stick. And so I can just transfer via USB stick. So yeah, cut and stitch is creating the design, and then you would transfer however you normally transfer. So I think that's a great explanation. So, okay. So other questions. So these two actually are kind of similar. The first one is from Cindy Burns. So she said, can you use any clip art or JPEG designs for the cut and stitch software?
On the images, if you're going to use an image, JPEG or a PNG or a GIF file or something like that, you would use it through the auto vectorizing wizard. If you are going to work directly to convert it to a bling stroke or a bling file, then it needs to be a vector image.
Perfect.
Is that right? Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's a great explanation. And that kind of brings up, so Laurie is over in the chat, and she kind of asked something similar about, can you scan in the artwork? So that's the same kind of concept as what you're describing. If they've got a digital version, so if it's scanned in, then you can bring it in through the wizard and it'll auto vectorize it, correct?
Correct. If you're going to scan it, take a picture of it, use some type of function other than a graphics generating program like Adobe Illustrator or any of the Corel Draws or those graphics programs. If you're just generating an image, then you got to bring it in through the vectorizing wizard.
Yeah, perfect. And this is kind of still related a little bit, but slightly different. Orito says, can I make my own designs, or do I only have the ability to work with what's in the program?
No, you could bring in your own design or your own designs. You could bring in external designs, but again, like we're talking about, you can even draw something right in cut and stitch software, custom to you, because we've got artwork tools, we've got artwork shapes that you can edit and shape just the way that you want them.
Yeah. So perfect. So, well, I think that is good for now. I see a couple more popping up, but I'll handle those over there so you can get back going. So I'll see you at the end.
Okay, Ashley, I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, now let's look at some design collections that will help you. If you wanted to do some of the projects that I just showed you, then here's what you need. In those Stitch Swag designs, those were those notebook covers, the snazzy snap covers and those nifty notebooks. We've got those on sale. If you want to do that in the hoop clutch, then we've got that on sale. So if this is the ultimate fusion, where you are going to fuse a piece of glitter heat transfer vinyl to fabric, and you're going to use it just like you would fabric to do something like this. And this gorgeous clutch is what Ashley made, and I just am in love with it. So you need, if you want to make this, you need the Stitch Swag in the hoop clutch, you need the 3x6 snap clutch frame, you need glitter heat transfer vinyl, the jade color, and you can get it in either peacock or the rainbow pack. You need exquisite 40-weight polyester thread, and you need no-show mesh cutaway, and you can make that also. And these are the necklines. I showed you that t-shirt, and these are the Boutique Necklines collection, brand new by Eileen Roach. It combines embroidery, heat transfer vinyl, and bling. You can really dress up any t-shirt that you would like. Cut files are included, and all you need is an 8x12 hoop. And there are different designs included in this collection so that you can make them any color that you want. And if you want to get started with the neckline bundle, this is the bundle that you need. You get the Boutique Necklines collection, you get rhinestones, you get the rhinestone brush and all of the accessories, you get 3 types of heat transfer vinyl so you can take your pick, and you even get a t-shirt to practice on. And all that is less than $100. And you know that USA, red, white, and blue, these are from the Joanne Banco Just Jackets designs. They were originally designed to embellish jackets, but these designs are so versatile and so fun that you can design. You can use them to design anything, because there's 3 different types. There's the Rose Collection, the Folk Art, and then the Star Collection, and that's the one I use for the USA. They are in combined applique, so you can use heat transfer vinyl with this. And they're not just for jackets, they're for t-shirts, they're for jeans, and you can have a lot of fun with these. And here's those beautiful hand sketched florals that we saw Reen use in various of her in the hoop, that pillow design at the beginning, and her in the hoop bag. They're very light and airy, and they employ raw edge applique. So they're perfect for vinyl. And you get cut files so that you don't have to trim it. You can just cut them on your cutter and use them. They're very open and airy and perfect for pillows, shirts, garments, anything. Now, here's just a couple of care instructions for glitter and for strip lock. Just a couple of clues. Wait 24 hours before you wash it. Turn the garment inside out. Take care of it, because just like you would any of your fine embroidery, you can machine wash it on warm or cold, and you can dry it on medium. But don't use fabric softener, and don't send it to the cleaners. What if you don't have a cutter? No problem. You can still cut your shapes by using our print and stick target paper. This is a transparent special paper where you can print designs and templates that have crosshairs, but you can use it to cut out your shapes. For example, for that ice cream cone, the free design, you can print that on print and stick target paper, put that on your glitter vinyl, and cut out your shapes, and you're good to go. Okay, so it's heat transfer vinyl. So how do we adhere it to our project? Well, we're going to apply heat, but also 2 other factors that are very important are time and pressure. And you can either use a heat press or you can use a household iron. But how much time? How much pressure? When do I peel off the carrier sheet? Well, all of those are answered by the Caesar app. The information that you need to work with heat transfer vinyl in the palm of your hand. You can get quick access to all the application instructions, how much heat, how much time, how hard do I press. You can also see updated material swatches, access a lot of how-to videos. All you do, if you've got an Apple iPhone, you get it on the App Store. For Androids, you get it on the Google Play Store, and download that, and it will give you all of the specifications on how to get this adhered depending upon what vinyl you use. So I'm going to skip this video, but just kind of a step-by-step on how to press. Let's say that we're using that glitter vinyl and we're using it as an applique. You're going to iron it from the back, and you're going to use a hoop and press pad, and you're going to cover it with a nonstick press sheet. Those are 3 tips that will help you. So you're going to put your household iron on cotton or linen setting, dry. Do not iron these with steam. Turn it to dry, firm to medium pressure for about 15 to 20 seconds from the back. Hoop and press pads are great to use when ironing on heat transfer vinyl. These are thick wool pads with a non-slip surface on the back, and originally they were used and designed to put inside your hoop if you had to turn your hoop over and do something from the back, like press or tape something down or cut something. But they work great when you are ironing on heat transfer vinyl. Now, we've got them in singles in either a rounded rectangle shape, which fits most hoops, or the oval shape, which fits probably the Bernina hoops. But you're going to love these so much. Don't just buy a single one. You know what's going to happen? You're going to get it home, you're going to love it, and you wonder, why didn't I buy it in every size? Just go ahead and get the bundle. So we bundled together all the sizes of the oval and all the sizes of the rounded rectangle, and they will fit just about all the hoops that you have there. We even have them for multi-needle hoops. So if you're using multi-needle hoops, we've got them for those too. So here's just a couple of tips. Operative word is heat. This is going to be hot, so please be careful and don't get burned. You can overcook this vinyl. And the paradox is that if you get it too hot, it won't stick. So what's the natural thing to think? I got to get it more hot, and I got to do it for longer. Well, you've overcooked it and it's ruined and it's not going to stick. Here's a tip also. If you put on hand lotion, wash your hands, because that lotion will interfere with the adhesion. And if you are layering heat transfer vinyl, like that ice cream cone, be aware that the effects of heat are cumulative. So maybe don't iron that first layer as long or as much pressure as you will the subsequent layers. Okay, so let's talk now about hoops and hooping aids. For those of you that maybe you're just starting to add your embroidery to your crafting of your vinyl. So let me go to the camera, and I'm just going to show you a few tips on doing something with hoops. Now, if you are new to machine embroidery or new-ish, you need to get these two books. First of all, Machine Embroidery and 6 Easy Lessons. This is a download book, a digital book written by Eileen Roach. This will help you get started if you are just starting to include embroidery. And if you've been doing embroidery for 20 years or 20 minutes, everybody needs this book, Hoop It Up by the Stitching Sisters, Eileen Roach and her sister, Marie Zeno. And it helps you understand how to hoop everything. There's so many pages in here on how to hoop everything. And in fact, mine is well worn and I keep it within my reach all the time. So even so much I spilled my coffee on it. So, but let's look at this project. Isn't this cute? Everybody loves embroidering these woven straw round placemats. And so I've done this one getting ready for Halloween, and I've got embroidered this little spider web on here, and this is from our artwork library. And I stitched this in, get it, glow in the dark thread. And I put the little spider there, and there he is in purple glitter vinyl, and even the little boo here. Now, I'm going to put boo on the other side also so that it can go from either side. But how did I hoop that? You can't put this in a standard hoop. What I used was our Snap Hoop Monster. This is our magnetic hoop. The top frame is where all of the magnets are. This plastic, corrugated plastic, is to be kept between the two frames when not in use. And then this is the bottom frame. Now, this is the 8x8. I actually use my 9.5 to do this, but it doesn't fit too well under the camera, so I'm just doing this for pretend. And so this is how easy it is. So I put my hoop down, put a piece of tearaway stabilizer under there. I put that straw mat on there, and it was so easy to hoop, just that easy. Now, and I could do it. I'm not going to break any of the fibers, and it's so easy to hoop. But now I want to put this boo on the other side of the placemat. I'm not going to do it with this big hoop, because if I did, I would be, I'd have to hoop it something like that, and then I would have this not that secure. I've got another hooping system that comes to the rescue, and that is the sticky hoop. Now, this is a one-piece hoop and I use it by loading adhesive stabilizer on the back. And when I peel off the protective paper that I've got here, it has only one frame and it's sticky. Now, in this particular instance, I've loaded it with a sticky water soluble, our adhesive sew and wash, because that's what I'm going to use for this placemat, because I don't want any stabilizer on the back side. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is get this lined up, and I'm going to use my PAL light over to the side. I have printed my boo on print and stick target paper, and I'm going to use glitter vinyl, and I'm going to peel off the paper and place it exactly where I want it. Now, since this is transparent, you're not going to be able to see the crosshairs, so I'm going to leave it on the paper, but I'm going to show you that this is where I'm going to put it, and it's all lined up there. I'm going to bring in my sticky hoop, because I'm going to then line up the crosshairs that are projected by my PAL, and I'm going to line it up with the zeros on the north, south, east, and west of my sticky hoop. Now, with my template in place, I can bring that down and line up the PAL crosshairs with the crosshairs that are on my design, and I'm going to press that down. It sticks. I don't have to worry about a top frame coming over, and I can take that right to the machine, take off my template, and stitch my design, and it's perfectly lined up. Now, this sticky hoop is also a miracle because it can help you hoop kind of odd shaped items, like see these Velcro slippers, which great, make a great little gift. You just place them right down on there, and now that is hooped and ready to take to the machine. I do a lot of these little wine aprons, and I like embroidering little sayings and pictures on the front. And on these little wine aprons, I just split them so that I don't have any stitches on the back. And they're so tiny. They got all these, all this business going on. I just put that right down on the sticky hoop, and I can embroider right there. Even something as simple as a linen coaster. I've got 24 of these to do, and I want to do them on point, and they are so easy to just press on my sticky hoop. They're adhered and they are ready to go to the machine. Sticky hoop is one of the great, great inventions. So we talked about the snap hoop monsters. They're great if you want to quilt with your embroidery machine, and they can tackle that hard to hoop list. We talked about the PAL, that's the perfect alignment laser that projects that crosshair, and the sticky hoop, that one-piece metal hoop that will help you hoop some of the most odd-shaped, most difficult items. If you're shopping for hoops, go down to the shopping pane and look for that whole row of hoop boxes, what it looks like. Find your machine manufacturer, and then click that view product bar, because that will give you more information about what hoop sizes are available for your machine. And don't forget the discount codes. A lot of these are going to hit that $150 price break, so you can get free shipping. And let me just quickly show you the Totally Tubular Hooping Station, which is one of Reen's favorite products and mine too. This is a series of boards that, when assembled, generate a cantilevered surface so that you can hoop those difficult tubular items, meaning that the front and the back are continuous. T-shirts, tote bags, little baby suits. And they work with snap hoop monsters or the standard hoops. On one side is a small surface, flip it over, and you have a larger surface. And if you're going to get this, then get the wool pressing pads that are exactly cut to fit the platform on the Totally Tubular Hooping Station. You will love it because now you can press and hoop in the tubular. So I shot this picture of those little baby rompers, and with the Totally Tubular Hooping Station, with the press pads, and that's what I used to press that strip block of that little bunny face. And I didn't have to worry about creasing or interfering with the back. Now take a look at this picture, and I staged it so that I could show you, but what I actually did is I had that romper inside out because I pressed it from the back. But if I did that, then that wouldn't be as sexy of a picture, so I did it that way. So let's talk really quickly about stabilizer, needles, threads. We have lots of different stabilizers on sale for you to choose from. You're going to be using tearaways, cutaways, piece and stitch in lots of your projects. But we've also got our water soluble sticky, our adhesive sew and wash on sale. And this is the mesh type of water soluble stabilizer with the sticky back. And this is what you would be using in your sticky hoop. We've got Fuse So Soft, which is a light tricot that you can permanently fuse on the back of baby items, so that protection from sensitive skin, protection from those stitches. We also have a needle sampler pack from Dime. These are Triumph needles in assorted point types and sizes. There are 100 needles in both sharp point and ball point. Sharps if you are going to use them on woven fabrics like quilting cottons, and ball points for use on knits. And if all of these needles and stabilizers have your eyes rolling in the back of your head, then get the Embroiderer's Compass by our own Deborah Jones. She invented this two-sided wheel with cutouts that have, all you have to do is point the arrow to the fabric, and then in the cutout window is her recommendation for stabilizer and needle size and type, and any other tips that she's going to give you to make sure that you are successful. And with that, I'm going to bring our presentation to the close, and I'm going to bring Ashley back in one last time to see what questions we have at the very end. So, hey, Ashley.
Hey, Ain, that was a great presentation. So we handled everything over in the chat. And so wanted to say thanks to Reen for helping. She jumped in there and answered some of those questions as they were going quickly. So I really appreciate that. But yeah, we handled everything over here. Just want to remind everybody that they can rewatch for the next 48 hours and continue to shop all the way through Sunday evening. Just use your regular link to get back to this page.
That's great. Yes. And thank you so much, Ashley, for helping out in the chat. Thank you, Reed, for helping in the chat. And I think maybe even Stephanie Young was in the chat.
Yep, she
but
was.
I also, a big shout out to Rain Wilcoxon and Embroidery Garden for not only bringing us some of these fabulous projects and designs, but also helping us bring this event to you. And also, Ashley, thank you so much for your help in the chat. So on behalf of everyone at Dime, my name is Ain McCarthy. I want to thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.